The Red River appears to be receding, but North Dakota and Minnesota residents are still worried about flooding. Shannon Bream is standing by with the latest on our top story. Shannon?
Hi, Chris. Well, water levels do appear to be dropping, but residents are still very worried about the Red River and all the potential flooding it could still cause. Joining us now on the phone is Lee Hoedl. He's a Fargo resident who created a web video to document the experience of an entire community coming together, fighting to hold back the rising floodwaters. Lee, thank you so much for joining us. I have to tell you, I watched your video and was absolutely blown away. Tell us about this incredible sense of community, people working around the clock, doing everything they can to try to protect their neighbors.
Well, there's really no way to try to put it into words. I came home the first night of sandbagging for 4 hours at the Fargo Dome, and when I was sitting eating breakfast, it just started to well up over me about what we just accomplished that evening and what we had ahead of us, and what our mayor, who's done an outstanding job, had called us to do. And I had just had a camera with me that had a video feature and had shot some video footage along the way as we took breaks, and I just had to put it out there for a lot of the family and friends that are in the Fargo area, but also the ones outside that aren't getting all. The news has done a wonderful job in covering it, but to try to give a more personal perspective of the families and friends and the children and the elderly that are out there sandbagging.
And Lee, it is amazing. These are the most selfless, hardworking people that you've shown in your video, and we've seen these kinds of pictures coming out again and again. Tell us how folks are doing in your particular area, how you are doing as well with this floodwater.
Well, in our division, we have, most of us have done a voluntary evacuation. Those of us that have not, like particularly probably most of the men, we've just been patrolling the dikes and have also been staying around the other inner neighborhoods just to see what needs to be shored up and what things need to be sandbagged. In our division, we are diked in on 3 sides,
Lee,
and are staying dry.
Lee, thank you so much for your efforts here with the work you've done, the video you've put together, and for joining us today. We wish everyone in that area the very best. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you.
Well, on to other news. New York's state assembly has agreed to a state budget. It raises taxes on top earners for the next 3 years.
Well, the Valley rallied as the Red River swelled this spring.
But as Valley News Team's Lisa Bedeau shows us, that inspiration also flowered in various ways.
Yeah, definitely. As the river rose, the creative juices also started to flow. From sandbagging to songwriting, the Red moved people in different ways.
The Red River flexed its muscles, but we were ready for the fight. Record flood levels brought out a record number of volunteers. Friends and family were on the front line, but they were easily outnumbered by strangers who were inspired to help.
It's just amazing how neighbors come and help, and of course all these people I don't even know. It's wonderful.
Lee Hoedl spent many hours sandbagging, but it wasn't the river that impressed him.
I was inspired by the people, not so much the water.
Lee started documenting every aspect of the battle against the Red.
And I always bring a camera with me, because I have 5-year-old triplets and an 11-year-old, so I'm always videotaping.
The dad with a camera caught some unique family photos.
Just having those 3 heads from the backside looking at all these college students and these people, the community sandbagging it was a neat experience.
Snapshots led to videos. Lee put together 26 in all.
There's all kinds of different ways you could be moved by it.
John Trelstead has been a musician for 30 years, but he wasn't inspired to compose anything until now.
I just started writing down phrases. All these trucks coming and going. I mean, that was just a big image.
Well, John says he respected the power of the water. It was the power of the people that inspired him to write.
Just the reaction of people to just put on their gloves, literally.
Now he says his song is moving others, and that's the best reward a songwriter could get.
That power of music. I mean, I can see where people who really do write great songs, and when it touches someone, and you don't know who it's going to touch.
You can find Lee Hoedl's videos on YouTube, all 26 of them. He also has been involved in producing a lot of other flood videos, including The View from the Blue DVD, which are snapshots from law enforcement. Now, John Trelstead's flood song You can also buy that if you would like. And I should note, I just featured a few people in this story, but the flood fight inspired a lot of people. A number of people submitted their pictures and videos on our U-News section of valleynewslive.com. And I've also heard quite a few different songs inspired by the flood of '09.
And the foundation behind that is the numbers associated with those that fought the flood.
It's incredible. I talked to the coordinator of all of the volunteers today, and she said they're thinking like 100,000 people volunteered, and if you count up all the sandbags, Fargo, Moorhead, Cass Clay, we're talking like 10 million sandbags. Those numbers are incredible.
And a lot of them are gone. Thankfully now they've been moved out.
That inspires a lot of people too.
Yes, it does.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Lisa.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.